back to QT with a pod. I'm so excited to be back here with you guys. Let me tell you what's been going on. After that snowstorm hit, February was just a rough month for me overall, but after that snowstorm hit, I had pipes burst, I had flooding in my house. So to even think about sitting down and recording something was too much because I quickly grew up. Let me tell you what that snowstorm did make me do. Grow up completely. It was kind of like, I guess, when you have a baby. I don't know. Yeah, when I had a dog, when I got a dog, my priority shifted. This happened. I was like, wow, I'm calling insurance people. I'm I'm doing way more than I've ever done before. So I've definitely been adulting. So, yeah, welcome back to the podcast. And guess what? I'm going to call this season 3. We're going to say I took a break for seasons. And yes, I did just come up with season 3. We're going to say this is season 3 of the podcast. And we're just going to leave it at that. So, this is the first episode of season 3. Haha. And this is kind of like a self-love preaching type episode where I don't give you 3 tips or 3 things to think about. I kind of tell you to get your shit together if it's not together. All right. With this episode, I may gain a lot of support or lose a lot of support, but I do think that I feel this on my heart. And I'm hoping it will help someone. I think it will. I know it will. Will it sound mean? It will, but I I give tough love, I guess. So, what is the difference between a person? I think it gets to a point where people like being the victim of their own situations. I think it sometimes it gets to a point where it's like, when are you going to get over this? How long will it take you to get over this? Granted, there are some people that have mental and emotional disorders that actually hinder them from progressing in their lives or getting over situations. But I do believe that there are toxic people in this world. People do shitty things. Yes, they do. And it messes you up. But at what point, or not even toxic people, you may have been born a certain way and you don't like it. And society has told you that it's ugly and it's wrong. How long are you going to play a victim to that? How long are you exactly going to say, damn, I'm fat, like, no one's ever going to love me? If you aren't trying to find out why you can't lose weight or trying to lose weight, then why sit there and hate yourself? Is it because you like to be the victim? Is it because you don't know that you actually can love yourself? Like, you don't have to lose weight to love yourself? Like, what exactly is it? So, I'm watching Married at First Sight, as majority of the world is. And we have Paige and Chris. Everyone has been talking about good old Paige and good old Chris. If you haven't, we have Chris, who is, I think he owns like multiple subways in Atlanta or something like that. He's a franchise owner. And then we have Paige. I forgot what Paige's job is exactly, but they are bound together. Well, the commonality they have is that they both love the Lord. They are both church folk. They both believe that if the Lord says it is, then it will be. That is what bonds them together. So, at the beginning, we hate Chris. Chris is the bad guy. He's toxic. Like, he's like, oh, she got a big booty. I'm not really attracted to her like that. They had sex the first night. The truth comes out about that later. Wait till I get there. They have sex the first night. They're married, then they have sex again that morning. He wakes up the next morning, he's freaking out. He's like, whoa, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't think I would do it. I'm not really attracted to you, Paige. And Paige is like, wow, like, why'd you have sex with me if you weren't attracted to me? He's like, yo, sis, I was just trying to figure it out, but now I know for sure. So they have a conversation. He says something about, like, I have not been a godly man after their relationship progresses. Paige eats that up. She's like, yes, he brought up the Lord. The Lord wants us to work through this. Like, I wouldn't be in this relationship or doing this if it weren't for the Lord. Um, Chris eventually finds out that his ex fiance, who he had sex with a month prior to marrying Paige, he knew he was going on the show. She's pregnant. The ex fiance is pregnant. So now he's going back and forth with, do I want to stick it out with you, or do I want to, go back to my ex girl? And eventually he tells Paige, you are my wife, and you are going to come before my child and before the mother of my child, because under God's eyes, you are my wife. Again, Paige eats that up. Paige is like, yes, he loves me. This man wants to be with me. Pretty sure they have sex more times after that. Um, Gets to the point where they get back to Atlanta. Well, hold up. Chris didn't go back to Atlanta. They went on their honeymoon, Las Vegas. That's when everything came out. And then Chris decided to go to Chicago. Paige went to Atlanta. Turns out Chris went to Chicago to talk to a divorce lawyer to figure out how could he get out of this, because he's now come to the realization that he wants to be with his ex-fiance, who is the mother of his child. Fair enough. Cool. Let's talk about Paige. So, with that, just in the beginning, everyone was like, I was like, wow, Chris is a horrible person. But I saw some things about Paige, and I was like, sis, are you gonna let him continue to take advantage of you? Because it seems as though she wanted to be the victim. I strongly refuse to believe that there is a woman out there. I hate that there are women out there, and that's the reason I want to talk about this. So, turns out the first night they had sex, she starts talking about, like, how she was influenced. I'm putting that in quotation marks, influenced, because in the end they both made a decision to do it. But she was influenced to have sex with him because he was like, "Oh, you're my wife, like, you know, you give your body to your husband, yada yada yada." She fell for that. Had unprotected sex with this man. Oh, unprotected sex with this man multiple times throughout the duration of their short-lived marriage. So he's enjoying himself. He's buttering her up, saying whatever he needs to say to her to make her feel good. And she does it, wake up in the morning and tell her, I don't like you. And she continues to go through that cycle with a stranger, might I add. This isn't someone she's been in a long-term committed relationship with, and she's like, we had a really good solid 2 years together. Y'all don't know each other. You don't know each other, Paige. So it's like, does she need someone there to wake her up? Does she need someone to shake her and say, hey, wake up? He's not doing the right thing. This isn't what a husband, not even a boyfriend, not even a friend. This isn't what a friend would do. This isn't how a friend would treat you. And I don't even think she was looking for like a solid friendship. It seems as though the other couples were like building on something, like they talked to each other and wanted to get to know each other, become friends. I didn't see every interaction I saw between Paige and Chris was them talking about how he wanted to be with somebody else and how he didn't want her. It was never, oh, are you this type of person? Are you this type of person? There was no foundation trying to be built, but you had already had sex with this man. At that point, like, you're still dating. You're still dating. Is it less risky to have sex because you're technically married to this person and you have to go through an actual divorce? Yeah, less risk involved. But still, she should have been treating it as any other relationship. There was no foundation built. So, the reason I am saying this is because it's so easy to hate Chris. It's so easy to say, Chris is toxic. Chris is the bad guy. I can't believe Chris did that. Paige needs to be held accountable. Paige let that happen to her. A man will only do what you allow him to do. And my mom used to say that all the time, and I was like, Sis, no, sometimes men are just toxic. Yes, that is true. Yes, that is true. A man will try you once and he's like, okay, no, I can't do that. Oh, okay, I can do this. He did what she allowed him to do. He's a toxic person. He needs to be put in his place. She did not put him in his place. We cannot sit here and continue to blame Chris. Paige is equally at fault for the situation that she's in. I was talking to a friend about it. She was just like, maybe she felt like she wasn't worthy of love, blah, blah, blah. And like, had maybe self esteem issues throughout her childhood because she is a darker skinned woman. And typically the narrative is that, dark skinned women have been teased about their skin color and everything growing up. That very well could have happened. But here's my next point. It's just like, how long will that bother you? She can't change the color of her skin. She can't change her facial expressions or like the way she looks. She can't. There are things she can change, things she can't change. But either way, she's what, 30 something? She's in her mid 30s. I'll say late 20s, somewhere between 28 to 35, I think. How long, and I know the question sounds wrong, but I keep saying it in my head. How long will you have low self esteem? How long will you allow society to dictate how you should feel about yourself? How long are you going to wake up every single day and be like, damn, I hate myself. I wish I had this. Yes, we can go through our moments when we're like, I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. We always want something else. I wish my stomach was a little bit flatter. Okay? Do I look at myself and hate? So I did. I did at one point. I was like, wow, I am super fat. That was body dysmorphia. Hashtag body dysmorphia is real. Looking at some of my old pictures, I'm like, you really thought you were fat. And I look like a bobblehead in those pictures. But it got to a point where I was like, oh, I like this body. I love the body I have. Like, I'm like, sis, you look good. You look good. And again, are there days when I am self conscious when I'm like, oh, my body doesn't look good in this, or I'm actually gonna wear a girdle because I'm mad bloated today. Yes. But for all my friends out there who are listening, or if you know a friend that should listen to this, stop hating yourself. It's not doing anyone in the world any good. It's not doing you any good. People can feel the way you feel about yourself when they're around you, and they treat you that way. If you feel like royalty, people around you are going to treat you like royalty. If you feel like shit, people around you are going to treat you like shit. If you feel basic, the people around you are going to treat you basic. Whatever you want to project into the world, you have to feel that about yourself. You cannot fake a feeling. You just can't. Stop hating yourself. Wake up. Look at yourself in the mirror. Write down your thoughts, write down your feelings. Whatever you feel like you need to do, just do it. Because essentially, you are a bad bitch. There is someone out there for everybody. If you feel like you're not worthy of love because of something, if you feel like your friends hate you, that's a lie. That's a lie. All the girls, if you look at, y'all look at my 600-pound life, every single woman on there has a boyfriend that treats her like a princess, caters to her, gets her whatever food item she needs. If you feel like because of your looks, you feel like your looks are holding you back, just think about that. And that's not to be like they're fat and unworthy because guess what? They're fat and they think they're worthy. So what? Why do you think you're not worthy? So I just really want to hop on here and leave that. Page really made me think about that. There are other situations that have come up, and I'm just like, stop hating yourself. It's it literally it kills you to hate yourself. It does. With that being said, I am going to leave. Thank you, beautiful people. I am trying to do longer episodes, but this was just a quick rant that I felt like I had to get off my chest, and it's a great start to this season. I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.